Welcome to Amsterdam. Yes, you're right, I'm sitting on a bed and this is an elk. And the reason is quite easy because about 20 years ago Mercedes introduced the A-Class for the first time, and shortly after that the A-Class didn't pass the so-called elk test. And since then a lot of things happened and a lot of things changed about the car. And today here in Amsterdam we're going to see the world premiere of the brand new Mercedes-Benz A-Class.
I'm really lucky today because I met a good friend here at the world premiere. Gordon doesn't know a lot about cars, but nevertheless I wanted to ask him about the car. Gordon, what do you think about the design of the car, especially about the face? I'm really interested what the Mercedes guys did. Let's have a look. It is quite flat and sporty, a little aggressive. Sharp headlights, very geometric. It really looks mean.
Also das Ding sieht richtig böse aus, glaube ich, oder? Was meinst du?
I heard about like Predator face. Not sure if this is Mercedes. Do you know about it?
Predator ist Raubtier.
Predator means Raubtier. It may want to eat the others. It really looks greedy and sporty. I think most cars will get out of its way on a highway. Okay, let's talk about the side.
Von der Seite sprechen.
It is typical A-Class, but looks more dynamic.
Nochmal sportlich aus. Unheimlich große Räder.
Very big wheels, and overall it looks a lot more reduced.
Es ist unheimlich beruhigt.
Still sexy with just one line. Before there were many lines, but now it is more calm.
Auf dem Auto und jetzt haben die das irgendwie beruhigt. Schön.
Nice, full and sexy panels and just the one line. It really looks modern.
Finde ich, ja. Aber trotzdem irgendwie sexy, ja.
I
think it looks a little bigger. Do you know it has grown? It really looks bigger and it looks like I could easier enter it.
Endlich besser einsteigen hier, ne?
Oh, it's locked. They're not letting us in right now. Still looks like an easy entry. Still looks like having a bigger boot. The wheels are a lot bigger and the proportions here are looking like with a sports car.
Wo das Blech aufhört und so. Also das ist schon geil.
That's really sexy. And it looks solid here with these wide shoulders and these big wheel arches.
Sieht knackig aus.
Then let us search for the highlights at the rear. The tail of the old A-Class was a little bit boring to me. Did anything change?
Lass mal gucken. Also
the actual model really gets slimmer with the roof and shows the muscles. This one is doing this even more.
Richtig geiler Stance.
Sits really solid on the road.
And here
they are using splitted taillights for the very first time. Unfortunately, they're not letting us look, but I think it will offer more boot space.
Heute würde ich mal denken, aber trotzdem.
But look here, that really looks very progressive. These are 3D LEDs, really cool.
Würde mal sagen, ja.
A really solid looking tail.
Hinten, ja.
If you would be Mercedes, what would be your message about the look?
Was wäre so deine Message zu dem Auto?
I would say that they really pushed that car to the next level.
Weiterzuheben.
The first thing you really feel when you take place in the new A-Class is the car offers more space. We, for instance, have 35 millimeters more elbow space. That doesn't sound a lot, but you can really feel it. And of course, this is a Mercedes-Benz, so you find very nice materials, very good craftsmanship, and I really like how the car looks. For me, one of the highlights are these new air outtakes here. They look like a jet turbine, and they give you different lighting regarding to if you're cooling or if you're heating up the car. And of course, what I really think is something special is this new dashboard with these two big screens here covered with glass, so they look like one wide screen. And of course, behind it, the new system called MBUX.
Next to me is Björn Haberger. He is running a site called AutoHub. He is a colleague who knows about cars and especially about Mercedes. MBUX is new in the A-Class, the first Mercedes with this system. What do you think about it and what will it offer? The name is a bit tricky, MBUX, so Mercedes-Benz User Experience. In German it is something like Benutzererfahrung. The nice thing about an option, if you choose these two big screens, screens with MBUX, you will have a full digital, colorful and entertaining panel.
Unterhaltsam, viele
With
Informationen.
loads of information, but the real kick is the voice control. If you tick the right boxes at the extra list, you will be able to talk to your car like to your neighbor or your
Mit
wife.
deinem Nachbarn oder deiner Frau, vielleicht sogar noch
Maybe
ein
even
bisschen
more sympathetic than with your wife. Who
Weiß
knows?
es nicht.
I had the same experience in Vegas at the CES. We were not allowed to see the whole car, but we were allowed to look at the interior and the system.
Es ist wirklich so, man kann sich tatsächlich unterhalten.
The
Das mit
thing
der
with
Frau will ich
wives
jetzt nicht
must stay
kommentieren, da kenne ich mich eher
uncommented,
anders aus, aber
but
Björn
Björn may
wisst
know
davon.
what he's talking about.
The new A-Class not only has grown regarding to the interior space, regarding to hat space and elbow space, it also has increased a lot regarding to the boot capacity. The car now offers up to 370 liters of boot capacity with the rear seats up. That's 29 more than with the predecessor. But I think more important is the space between here has increased by 20 centimeters because of the now splitted taillights. And very important, the floor now offers 11 centimeters more of length. So I think we can really say the new A-Class has really grown up. So, ich habe einen weiteren
I've pulled
Kollegen
another colleague in front of the camera, Jan from Ausfahrt TV. YouTube fans will know him.
Jan, du hast das gerade
Jan,
so
you
schön
just
erzählt.
explained it so well. The story of the A-Class. How did this all started? For me, the first compact car was the 190, but Mercedes does think a little different. They say 1993 they presented the first concept. 1997 the first A-Class arrived. But for me, as a Mercedes fan, not the perfect shot. It looked more like Granny's car. 2004 they showed the facelift. Still the same car, still old-fashioned. And 2012, which I saw live, they presented the first more sporty version. So the first more a granny mover, the real second then even worked for me. And now 6 years later, the actual version really looks very tasty.
Ist schon ganz lecker, oder? Was sagst du?
Ich finde die auch
I do
richtig
really like it as well, and I like the idea of the comparison from the Elk test car to the sporty car.
Auto. Ich finde das auch
I
sehr
think
spannend,
it's very
was
nice what Mercedes developed, but what's your highlight with the new A-Class?
Also das,
The control concept at the interior, MBUX, really is very nice. I am a big fan of vintage cars, but for day-to-day driving, I really like cars with assistance systems.
gerade im Stau.
And now they brought all these new things into the A-Class. Even partly autonomous driving is possible. The car could even be ugly, which it is not. Having all these components together makes this car really interesting. Not only the look of the A-Class has changed extremely over the years. It has become more sporty and also offers the safety standard on a level close to an
von einer
S-Class.
S-Klasse. Bei den Motoren der
Regarding
neuen
to the engines of the new A-Class, there is a lot to tell.
Flammneu. Neben mir
Next to
steht
me
hier
is Philipp Deppe from MB Passion Block. For me, one of the experts when it comes to Mercedes technology. Philipp, what is new and what do they offer? We have 3 new engines. So let's start with a diesel. 1.5 liters, 4 cylinders, first time with AdBlue injection and ACA cat. So it should be very clean. Overall, it's an updated engine, so not completely new. More interesting are the petrols. The top petrol, a 2-liter engine, also 4 cylinders, developed by Daimler.
Und Eigenentwicklung von Daimler. Mit
With 224 horsepower, more than enough power under the hood for a compact car.
unter der Haube. Ja, und der andere
And the other one developed together with Renault.
ein
A small engine, 1.33 liters of displacement, but with special technical features like the automatic cylinder deactivation. And it's the first Mercedes 4-cylinder that goes into mass production with this.
Dann habe ich meine
You
Frage
always
zu dir. Du
know
kennst ja
many
relativ
internal
viel
things,
so
so you always know more than me.
Du weißt aber mehr als
Will
ich.
there be a chance to see
Haben wir denn
more
eventuell eine
engines
Chance, dass
soon?
es auch
And
relativ
what is
zügig
even more
AMG
interesting for
was mich
me,
viel mehr
will there be an
interessiert, dass es vielleicht
AMG?
bald ein AMG gibt?
Auf alle Fälle.
For sure, there may be two AMGs, I think. One lighter AMG like with the C and E-Class, and then the powerhouse, the full AMG.
Und dann den richtigen Dampfhammer, der Voll-AMG. Aber wir werden
And I'm sure we will also see a plug-in and other diesel generations with more power.
Dieselgenerationen geben mit auch noch ein bisschen mehr Bums.
It's always good to talk to experts because you learn something. I'm now looking forward to see the big AMG.
That was the world premiere here from the brand new A-Class from Amsterdam. And I really have to say, what I absolutely love with the car is this new front design, this Predator face. I really think that lifts the car to a completely different level. My colleagues, they all agreed that regarding to the interior, the new MBUX is something they absolutely adore. And I think it's very interesting to see that Mercedes introduces something like it in the new A-Class and not the S-Class. But let's talk about S-Class. That car now offers assistant and driver safety systems on the level of an S-Class, which I think is not something you will find in so many compact cars. And I think if Mercedes starts searching for new customers with that model, they don't have to be so hard to find.